Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? I probably shouldn't sing that, to be honest. It doesn't sound cool when it comes from me. Still.
Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you?
Alright, so Bad Boys for Life. I've been looking forward to this ever since it got announced. Like, since it got rumoured, I've been excited, hoping that it would happen. Like, it was rumoured around the same time as Rush Hour 4 was rumoured, but that's not actually, I don't know if that's happening, but Bad Boys 3 was rumoured, and I was excited, because I thought it might actually happen. Then they announced it officially. I was just like so excited, because I used to love buddy cop movies the most out of any sort of movie. I used to love those during my teenage years. I think I watched the first two when I was like 10, 11, I think. It was quite a while ago. It was like 12 years ago I watched the first two, and I absolutely loved them, and they were brilliant to me. And during my teenage years, during that time, my favourite type of movie was buddy cop movies. I just enjoyed them the most. I used to rewatch Bad Boys and Rush Hour like countless times. I used to really enjoy those movies quite a lot. I absolutely loved them. And when they announced that Bad Boys 3 was coming, I was just so excited. It's nostalgia, plus it's a great reunion to do, and we needed a trilogy anyway. Like, we had two of them. How could you stop at two? We need a trilogy at least. If you're gonna do a second one, do a third. That's what I always say. I do love trilogies. So I thought, when they announced the third one, I just thought, you know what? I'm really excited. And the trailers came along, they were good, and now the movie's here, and I just watched it, and I gotta say, I really enjoyed it. It was good. When I reviewed Stuber, right, last year, I said this: the world needs more buddy cop movies. It really does. We're lacking them. There's not enough of them nowadays. We get so many more movies nowadays, a lot more big blockbusters, a lot more big franchises, a lot more sequels, remakes, etc. come out nowadays. A lot more than before. There's a lot more of a choice now. We're getting more of everything, but we need more buddy cop movies too. We haven't got enough of them, in my opinion. But I'm so glad they brought this one back. It was a great one to bring back, and yeah, Will Smith and Martin Lawrence, they're great together, as they always are, and they carry the movie. There's new characters too, a new sort of like strike force, and they're pretty cool as well. Will and Martin are still like the main characters. I say Will and Martin, yeah, well, obviously Will and Martin, but like Mike and Marcus are still like the main characters of the movie, but still these other characters do add to it as well, being an important part. And it's probably the most serious one, actually. It might be the most serious movie out of the three, because even though they're mostly quite fun and the action comedies, in this one the villains of the movie is quite personal for them. Don't really want to spoil things, but let's just say when you're a police officer, you put away a lot of criminals, and sometimes some of those criminals might want to take revenge. That's all I'm gonna say. But all I'm saying is, it's very personal. It's not just about revenge. There's a lot more to it. There's a lot more depth to it. It's probably got the most depth to it out of any Bad Boys movie. Don't know if it's the best one, to be honest. Like, it's the best in terms of like emotional value and the depth to it. Probably the stakes as well. I probably still think the first one's the best movie, to be fair. Second one's really fun as well. The second one had the best action scenes, I think. Second one had some crazy chase scene as well in the freeway. This one had some good chase scenes too, some good action scenes. The action was good in this. The comedy was good. It was still funny. So Mike is still this guy who never settles down. He's moved on from woman to woman. He's still Mike Lowry, you know. And obviously Marcus he's settled down. He still has a family. He's a family to look after. His daughter is having a kid with Reggie, who's still there. That's kind of funny. It was cool to see him back. That was a good throwback. Oh yeah, there was more circle shots as well. They used to love doing circle shots in the first two movies. There's a few more of those in this, which is pretty cool. It's not Michael Bay though this time. Michael Bay loves that sort of stuff, but he's not directing this one, so that's a bit of a difference there. He directed the first two movies, not this one, so it was a bit different in terms of like how the story was done, but it was still fine. It definitely didn't miss Michael Bay, but to be fair, Michael Bay made the first two good, like really fun to watch. So credit to him for creating this franchise in the first place and directing it. But this third one was not directed by him, and it was still done really well. I think that these new directors did a good job with the movie, and it was just done fantastically. Good action, good comedy, new characters are decent, the villains are compelling as well, has a decent storyline, and I love the soundtrack as well. The soundtrack is really good in this. Like, it's sort of like when you get the most serious scenes, the most action-packed scenes, when it actually gets proper serious, the soundtrack is really good. Like, it's sort of like intense but slow at the same time, if that makes sense. I love it. I need to listen to the soundtrack. I always do that. Like, when I love a soundtrack, I look it up on YouTube and I listen to it for like hours upon hours. I love soundtracks for movies, and this soundtrack was pretty good. I don't usually mention that, to be fair, in my reviews, but the theme songs in this, I just like the feel of it, I gotta say. But yeah, the action scenes were great. It was action-packed, it was funny, compelling villains, as I said, and I had a good time. I might watch it again, actually. I might watch it one more time at some point in the cinema, because I think it's worth seeing. And if you haven't seen any of them, then start watching them, if you're old enough, of course. These are quite R-rated. It's very brutal, this one as well. This one's probably the most brutal one in terms of like how the injuries happen. There's a lot of serious things that happen. It's quite dark at times. Like, even though it's an action comedy, it does get dark. It does get serious. It does get brutal. The way that people die is brutal. So yeah, it was fantastic. Just I love action movies. I love in general, you know. Even when they get hardcore, it's still great to watch. And yeah, I had a good time with this. It's just, it has everything I needed in a buddy cop movie. Everything I needed, you know. It was great. So yeah, as a rating, I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10. Really enjoyed it. I recommend it. And yeah, the world needs more buddy cop movies, 100%. And I heard there's a rumor that Bad Boys 4 will come. If that's the case, then they've already used Bad Boys for Life. They could have had Bad Boys for Life. So that's missed opportunity there. You could have Bad Boys Forever, maybe. I don't know if they are doing it. But if they are doing it, I'm going to welcome it. I'm going to be like, yes, give us another. Give us another. Why not? Why not? The way they ended it, they could set it up for another one, to be fair. Like, it's not a spoiler, but I mean, the way they end it, they could easily make a new story out of another movie. So like, if they do want to make one, they can. So yeah, this is your boy Davidoff. Please like, share, subscribe. Thanks for watching. Have a good day and see ya.